Good afternoon, Japan. Good afternoon, rest of the world. My name is Kaz. I'm a Japanese entrepreneur who recently moved to Singapore at the end of 2021. The Japanese government trying to welcome the foreign travelers starting in June 2022, and they also announced they are going to lift the requirement of PCR testing prior to coming to Japan. I'm going to introduce about this in today's video. If you are interested in today's video, let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to introduce about today's video. So Japanese government recently announced that starting in June, the government trying to increase foreign travelers to the Japan, and the daily limit is 10,000 people, but they are trying to raise to 20,000 people to boost the travel industry. So when 20,000 people are arriving to Japan per day, it will be extremely difficult to check each traveler's PCR testing result and also another PCR testing on arrival. When I came back to Japan last time, back in April, I had to take the PCR testing about 72 hours prior to the arrival and in Singapore, and I had to upload a negative result to my SOS app. And then when I arrived to Japanese Narita Airport, I had to take another PCR testing in Narita Airport, and I had to wait additional 45 minutes to almost 1 hour before I was released from the airport. So if you're gonna do that for over 10,000 to 20,000 travelers from all over the world, it's gonna be a disaster. So I think the Japanese government considered not to impose PCR testing if the travelers are vaccinated 3 times. So if the travelers are vaccinated 3 times, the PCR testing is going to be exempt, which is good. We already got vaccinated 3 times, and then what else you can do, kind of thing. So because a lot of Japanese business industry are kind of urging to the Japanese government that Japanese government's restrictions regarding the closing the border is a lot more stricter than Western countries such as US and Europe, and it's killing the Japanese economy. So I think that the reason why the Japanese government changed the requirement this year, because even Japan, our vaccine rate has been reached over 70%. So most of the Japanese population has already been vaccinated twice at least. So I think that's the reason why this year the Japanese government tried to welcome travelers. Last year, around this time, they didn't open the borders because we don't have a vaccine. So I think that's the reason why the government tried to start welcoming to the travelers, is because most of the Japanese population has been vaccinated twice, at least, and then right now a lot of people are taking the third vaccine as well. I guess it's a good thing, so because you cannot close the border forever. So I do have some friends who is operating Airbnb, and he's super happy that he's gonna start to welcome travelers again. For him, the last 2 years very tough time because he had to keep paying the rent, and he had to change the way that he operated business to more local Japanese travelers kind of thing. But it was very hard during the COVID time. So he's very happy that he can start to welcome the international travelers. Right now the Japanese yen has been depreciated, so that I think it enhanced a lot of international travelers trying to come into the Japanese market because the yen has been weaker and weaker. Anyway, so I think that's a good change, and then I hope the COVID is not gonna be raised again, and then hopefully our economy, travel industry gonna be starting catching up starting in June. Anyway, I hope this transition is gonna be very smooth, and hopefully situation about travel industry is going back to pre-pandemic situation soon. But anyway, I think that this winter is going to be the very, very key to make sure that travel industry is gonna be continue to be operated during the winter time because the winter time usually is the time that more COVID case gonna be rising. So if we can survive this winter, I think it's gonna be good. But let's see, you know. The only reason why I don't want to invest in the Airbnb business again because right now it might be good, but in winter time, what about if the government change the policy once again? Okay, we're gonna close the border kind of thing. So in that case, my new investment is gonna be put into risks again. So I'm not going back to Airbnb business anymore. Anyway, that's it for today's video. I think it's a good news, and then I hope Japan's gonna start coexist with COVID-19 and also trying to prosper our economy again because we really need that in Japan. Anyway, that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed today's video, please thumbs up, and I hope you subscribe my channel, and please click the notification bell so that you get notified when I upload a new video, and please follow my Twitter because I'm talking about the life in Singapore, and thank you so much for supporting my channel, and I hope I see you guys tomorrow. Bye.